is Bryce Tubbs. Today we're going to be talking about how one of my mentorship students recently got clients for $1,000, and $500 per month, respectively. So basically $2,500 per month from four clients. And I really want to kind of dive through deep to this. I get a lot of questions asked me via like Facebook and like LinkedIn and even my YouTube comments, like how are our students growing so fast? I'm going to kind of break down like what are some of the keys to their success inside of this video. And also, if before we even go and dump deep into it, I mean, like, who am I? So, like, I used to growing my business was not very easy, right? Yeah, I made to six figures in 16 months, but the first like 6 to 8 months was very, very hard. So like at first it would be kind of like number one, I only got like one client every like 2 to 3 months. Like I'd be trying and trying and trying, but I just was not very good at getting clients, right? So I would be trying to build my own websites. I'd be like having like flyer stacks. I cold called a couple of times, but I never really got good at cold calling when it came to this business, just because it just took way too much effort and just felt like it was just like a waste of time. In my opinion, I still don't recommend cold calling, but it's just like I just felt very very unsecure, right? Because it was just like I couldn't really support myself with one client every 2 to 3 months, right? Especially because I was undercharging. And then next, like it was like the only people and like the only way that I thought I could like do marketing like consistently was to go to like networking events. Cause I just like there was like this one group like in my local area that just kept emailing me like very consistently, like, hey, come to our event, come to our event, come to our event. So I was like, okay, let me try and come to the event. But then when I went to the event, the only people that were like inside there were like people who were just getting started. Like there was like a yoga studio owner, there was like a personal trainer, it just like a bunch of like solopreneurs that weren't really into business yet. It was like just a bunch of beginners. So it was just like they just couldn't really afford to pay me a good price for bookkeeping. So I do like the consultation call. It would be like seemingly going great. Then as soon as I say, okay, it's like 450 a month, I'd be like, I can't afford that, right? So it's just like repeatedly, right? And that tends to happen at networking events if that's something that you like go to. The next thing is like when I did find a business owner that could afford to pay me like higher price points, like when I would try and do a price point over like $600 a month, they wouldn't laugh. Like one person did laugh at me, like that. They said like they were like, that's not gonna happen. It was like me, this woman, and then like her personal assistant. Like, there's no way it's gonna happen, and it was just very very demoralizing. But I mean, the majority of guys were like a lot more polite. Just like, hey, I just don't really think it's worth the service. So it's like it was very hard for me to get people to really want to go, right? And it just made me feel very 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 irritated and very frustrated because like I was trying to do what I need to do, but it just wasn't really clicking for me. Like I wish I could tell you that like I just like figured this stuff out and like I just like sat in my kitchen table and I was just like thinking, all of a sudden like hit me like a brain blast. But I mean, I ended up just paying for a lot of courses. Like the first three, the first couple months I made it like really successful, like a 3 month period. I spent like 35 grand like on a course. I would just buy like every single course on the market. And, like not all of them were like related to like accounting, bookkeeping. Like I would do like a sales course. I would do like a general digital marketing course. I would do like a how to do like pricing, how to have confidence, how to do like negotiation. So I just like buy as much stuff as I pretty much could in order to like make this stuff work. So this is kind of like the results of like what I found. And then as I started growing my business, other people started asking me like, what was I doing to grow mine? So I started like doing like the coaching business. That's where I like the coaching business came. It just came out of like the success of my regular accounting and bookkeeping firm. And people like asked me questions like how to do it. So without further ado, if you're watching this thing on the live, go ahead and comment hashtag team live. I'm asking you to comment because like, the more people that comment, like, and share, the more this video gets seen by more people. And like I like doing things that are like fun and engaging. So like if no one shows love, no one shows they actually care about these things, I generally won't do them, right? Because it's just like I quite frankly, I could have gone to the gym. I could have gone like picked up this bracelet I got from my significant other, but I was like, hey, I got to do this thing right now because I really want to help these people out, right? Also, if you're watching on the replay, type in hashtag team replay again because I want to give you a gift if you're watching the replay. I really appreciate when people come and watch the replay afterwards, right? If you're on it live, I like making it really interactive so you can get something out of it. If you're watching the replay, I like giving you a special gift as well. So again, I'm asking you to comment not because like I just want to hear myself talk, but I'm really asking you to comment so we can share this thing out to more people, right? Because like if not a lot of people watch videos like this, it doesn't really make sense for you to do it. Blessedly, like we had a really good viewership so far, so it's like always motivating me. Okay, let's do another week. We'll just go show up another week, right? But on weeks like maybe if I get no comments or nothing, it's just like is it really worth my time to kind of do it? So if you want more to see more of this stuff, go ahead and comment, support me, help me out because I'm not asking you for money. I see Dano typed in hashtag team live. Good to see you, Dano. Dana was one of the people who actually showed me how to start my Facebook group. If you guys don't know that. Yeah. Another person said hashtag live. Someone say hello from MS. Good to see you. Yeah, so let's jump into this thing. Also, if you want some help growing your business, like maybe you've been trying to grow your business, but it's either just not going at the speed with what you want, or maybe you're thinking about starting, but you want to make sure that you have someone who can help you walk through the game plan and help you walk through the proven process to be able to go and increase your business in the shortest time period possible. If that's you, go ahead and click the link inside the description, either above or below the video, to book a call with myself or a member of my team to see if we can help you inside our program. So let's jump in and tackle this thing. So number one, how is a person able to do it? There's two main ways. Number one is through partnerships. Now, there's a couple different ways we like going about partnership. Before we even go into, I'm going to talk about why I do partnerships. So one reason why, when I was starting out, it took me so long to get clients, why it was so hard to get clients, was because every single time that I got a client, it felt like I had to restart from scratch, right? And that's what a lot of traditional marketing tends to do. Like if you're doing like Upwork, or if you're doing like networking events or cold calling, it's like you do a bunch of effort, you maybe get a response or result, then you have to either like onboard the client and pause, and then you have to restart and restart, right? And that's very, very challenging. If you're selling your stuff for 3 grand a month, right, you only need to do that cycle 3 times. But the majority of people who watch this, like if you don't know how to price your services, you're generally pricing it too low for that model to work for you. So instead, you need to be thinking about like what are different ways that I can actually like leverage this in order to make sure that when I do get a new client, I'm able to grow and I'm able to keep getting more and more. It's like you have to be thinking about asset-based like marketing and asset-based business building. In this particular case, this student has two assets or two classes of assets. Number one is partnerships, and this is like one we're very, very heavy on. The second one is LinkedIn. So we're using LinkedIn to actually go and communicate with the partners to go and establish, like, number one, why should they actually refer people to you? Why should they listen to you? Why should they even talk to you in the first place? Do they actually have potential clients they can actually send to you? If that's the case, then you schedule a partnership call. From that partnership call, we basically confirm exactly what you guys said inside the messenger and made sure that if they actually have some clients they want to give to you, when is the time frame with which they can give it to you, right? And then your goal is to try and have between 5 to 10 different partners that are sending between 1 to 2 consultation calls per year. Now, the reason why it's important, okay, so let's say that it's a that you get to 10 referral partners and you're getting 2 consultation calls per year each. That is 20 consultation calls, generally from not a lot of work. So let's say that you have 10 partners. Each of the partnership calls last between about 15 minutes to maybe like 20 minutes. So 20 times about 10, that's about 200 minutes in total, divided by 60 minutes. That's 3 hours, 3.33. So what is that? That's 3 hours and what's divided by three? Whatever. Three and a third hours for the whole year to be able to get 20 consultation calls. Now, if you guys are any good at sales, especially from these referral types of sales, you should be closing at minimum 50%. That means by the end of the year, you will automatically have 10 clients. Now, if you've priced your services at the bare minimum of $500 per month times 10 clients, that's going to be $5,000 per month from 3 hours and what is that called? 3 hours and about 33 minutes. That'll be half. 3 hours and 25 minutes worth of work, okay, for the entire year. That's why the power of this stuff is so important, right? Because if you're working a job or if you have family, like let's say you're working a job, right? Your time is already pretty sparse. Most people can't just spend like 4 or 5 hours a day marketing, right? But if you get a partner and that partner's already like in business, let's say like maybe they're like a doctor, maybe they're like a lawyer, and all they do all day long is work business and talk to people and build relationships. They're constantly doing the marketing. They're putting the time that you otherwise should be putting in yourself. But since you can't put in the time, you elicit the help and the opportunity of other people to be able to go put in that time for you. So now you're able to start reaping the rewards of all the time they're putting in. So it makes it a lot easier for you to be able to have like a passive business, have passive marketing going through you. So when you have that passive marketing, now you can keep growing your business and it's a lot more relaxed, a lot more predictable. Okay. Now, another thing we have to be thinking about in terms of like predictability is it doesn't necessarily have to be based on your energy levels. Sometimes what happens is, and I don't know if this happens to you, but when you're dealing with children, right, they require a lot of energy, a lot of like focus, a lot of things. Like sometimes they might have to be taken to the doctor. Like yesterday, our child, he basically he had to go get a shot, right? I think it was a HPV shot or one of the cancer shots. I can't remember the acronym, but that took a number of hours out of our day. He also had to go to the dentist. That took a number of hours out of our day, right? About 2 months ago, he actually broke his hand. That took some time out of our life to go and do, right? So if everything is based on like me having to be 100% focused on the business, it makes it very hard for the business to be sustainable. So by learning how to get these partnerships, how to like utilize LinkedIn to be able to actually stack and store partnerships, it makes it so much easier for you to be able to go. Now, one misconception people have when it comes to LinkedIn is that LinkedIn is a platform where you post and the posting gets you clients. That does happen. What I found to be the easiest leverage unit of time is number one, utilize LinkedIn plus some sort of automation software plus some sort of conversation using like social media posts. But the posts are not going to be directly going after clients. The posts are going to be informing referral partners why they should be referring people to you and why you're the best person for their clients. Okay. Remember, everything is about leverage. The challenge when it comes to social media, and like we do teach this in our program, is like you get LinkedIn and you're able to get clients directly from LinkedIn. That is, but that generally requires a lot of skill set and like a lot of like focus and effort, right? The way that I found that just works a little bit easier is by using LinkedIn automation. The automation can not only send the connection requests and build a relationship, you can also start sending the messages too. But then you have this content. Now, content, again, can be used to change the beliefs and influence the belief of people who are reading, watching, or listening to it. Right. So maybe you have a referral partner that's like one of the best, like we'll say like plastic surgeons in your state. Right. That person, and even though they might not have a million hours a week to listen to content, the more they see your face, the more they hear your story, the more they see from you, the easier it is for them to actually feel good about sending their clients to you. The problem most people have with partnerships is they just try and like talk to someone one time and expect for them to give like their entire client roster or all their friends and family to you. It's like they might not trust you. So all you're doing is really building a lot of trust and making sure you can do it, right? So in this particular case, the gentleman used LinkedIn. He got these four clients came from two partnerships. So one partner gave him like the $500 per month, one's the three $500 per month. The second partner gave him the $1,000 per month from the clients, right? So LinkedIn, basically, we talk about who are you looking for in a partner? What's the best one to do? Which partner is actually going to have your ideal target market? Because not every single partner is going to have the same target inside of their network, right? So first things first, who are the people you actually want to work with? Like, what is the industries you want to work with? What's the size of the company you want to work with? Then we talk about who's the partner we actually want to work with. What does that person look like? What do they do? What are their walks of life? What are kind of their demographics? What are their psychographics? Like, how do they see the world? How do they think? Where do they actually hang out? What are the wordings they use? Once we do that, we start using like the automated campaigns to start getting very big number of them. Generally, you don't need like a huge number. Like you don't need like thousands. Ideally, you have about like 500 potential partners that you're then coming in contact with. From there, you're looking for about like 5 to 10 that actually are going to be a really good partner. You'll have more conversation. Like a lot of them will want to like talk to you and stuff, but they're not really ideal. They don't like show they have the type of clientele you're looking for. It doesn't really make sense to go much further on like a call with them. So once you've identified who are the right like 5 to 10 people, then what you start doing is you have that call again like between 15 minutes like about 30 minutes on max average, unless you really like talking to them. Like I have seen like maybe they'll talk back and forth with you for like 45 minutes just because you enjoy the conversation, you have similar interests, and like maybe you guys have like a lot of stuff in common, right? So that's more. It can go longer if you want to, but generally want to keep it very short and concise. Now, after that, the content you're going to be making is generally going to be around like the six things like why should someone be working with you? Why should someone actually talk to a bookkeeper? And more importantly, not just why should someone be talking to a bookkeeper, why should someone be talking to you? Okay? It's not enough for you to say that someone needs a bookkeeper. Everyone knows they need a bookkeeper to a certain degree. If they're like below 100,000, per year in revenue, they probably don't know that. But once they start getting 250, 500, a million, 2 million, 5 million, they know that they need the service. Like their CPAs tell them every single year, you need to get your bookkeeping done. You need to get your bookkeeping done. You need to get your bookkeeping done. So they know they have a need. It's just, are they going to do it with you and through you? If the answer is yes, then that's good. But if they're not, you're just basically making posts that are just like boosting the entire industry, but not really helping yourself, right? Every single time you make a post where it's like 10 reasons why you need a bookkeeper, it's like you're boosting the overall industry. So now more people know they need a bookkeeper, but that does not mean they're going to go with you. Okay. Instead, you need to be doing like, reasons why you should work with me, reasons how I help my clients, through ways that you can like take advantage of XYZ through me, right? So if you're gonna go that route, right, you generally need to have like really good content. But if you're gonna go and you're gonna actually start talking to partners, you need to be very simple. And it's more about like your story, how you help, where you help, why you help, who are the type of clients you've helped, what's the size of the clients. You're basically telling the referral partners over and over again why you're the person to work with and who you actually work with. So then when the person actually comes to them and fits that criteria, it's automatically you're the first person that comes to mind and they start sending clients to you. And that's how this student was able to go do that. It wasn't like it's like magic, it's just a very structured process to be able to go get it. And this content, like I know I'm talking about content in this video. Usually I don't talk about content. It doesn't take very long. It takes like 10 minutes to make like a post, right? We give you like templates on how to do it inside of our program so you can like move very quickly if that's what you choose. Majority of our students don't actually use posting, don't use content. But for some people, I'm seeing like a trend where people are like wanting to do it. We can teach you that if that's something that you're really inclined to do. Because I don't know if you've noticed, like this is a piece of content right now, and I have like thousands of written posts on the internet. So that is something that I am pretty well versed in. But it's just more about like what is the most efficient use of your time in order to grow your business. And this is like the thing we've kind of found that works the best. So hopefully you learned something new. I know we've never really talked about the partnership in that kind of like way or in that kind of angle. So if you want some help growing your business, like maybe been trying to, it's just not going the way you want. Maybe like you get a client here, you get a client there, but you're just not quite making the traction you want, and you know you could be doing more. Go ahead and click on the link inside the description. Book a call with myself or a member of my team. See if we can help you out. Like we can't help out everybody. Like I'm totally aware of that, right? I'm not for everybody. Our methodology is very, very specific. It works for a very specific type of person. And in some cases, it might not be a personality mix. If you're watching this video, it'll be a good personality mix. It's just more, can we actually help you? And until I've actually spoken to you, I don't know if we can, right? I'm pretty confident that when the right person comes, just based on like who we've helped, it works very, very well. We have like the testimonials to support it. But for you in your specific situation, I want to see if it can actually help you. If you want to see and you want to find out, go ahead and click on the link inside the description, book a call, and we'll see you on the other side. If you're not quite ready, that's a-okay too. We have a lot of videos. I'm going to be here for a long, long time. We've been doing coaching, mentoring since about like late 2018, early 2019. So, what is that? About four or five-ish years so far. Because yeah, so I'll be here for another five potentially. I don't know if I'm going to be like taking on clients in the same way with which we do now, but I'm going to be here for you. So when you're ready, let's take it. I would highly encourage you though, when talking about if you're ready versus if you're not ready, it's more most people, your life is going to keep you in the same spot that you're in. So it's like someone said partially live. Rochelle said partially live. Well, good to see you, Rochelle. But most people, like, life has a really interesting way of cyclically keeping you exactly where you are. So it's like you could be super excited about like, getting started or doing something about growing your life or changing your life. But if you don't take actual steps that feel very, very uncomfortable, you're never going to like actually progress, right? There's a difference when I say like ready is more of like if something is significant, like you just broke your arm, you had a heart attack, like that's different. But if it's more of like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready or should I start now? Should I start later? It's like that's more of a feeling, and that's more of like procrastination that keeps you in your current situation a lot longer than what you need to be. So it's more of like if you've seen these videos, if you think without a shadow of doubt that potentially we could help you, that's when you take advantage. That's when you go and book the call. If it's more of like something just came up in your life, like maybe like your car just broke down, you have like no more savings, and like or maybe like you're like super 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 paycheck to paycheck, that's when it's like it might not be ready. But if you have money, if you have a situation where you have a little bit of time you can dedicate, like maybe like 1 hour to like 2 hours a day, right? And you can have the potential to be able to do the work or at least learn how to do the work, you're definitely qualified to at least see, right? I'm not saying to buy a thing, just at least see, right? That's the thing. See if it's right for you. Okay. If that's you, I'll talk to you on the call. Have a good one. I'm gonna get out of here. I have to go pick up this new tennis bracelet.